as you can probably tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about different tips and things to bring on your first few public access outings with your service dog in training. The first section is just the things to bring, and I will be showing the things that I personally bring to our outing. And I'm only doing this in the beginning because the list is shorter and easier to get through. So if you don't want to see this section, skip ahead. And I should put a timestamp right here. So if you want to see it, just stick around and keep watching this part. So the first thing I recommend bringing is treats in a treat bag. I have my treats right here, which is just my dog's dog food, and a hot dog that's broken up into little pieces. I also have a makeshift treat bag, which just has the poop bags on the other side, which I do recommend bringing poop bags also, as well as wipes, which I have wipes right here. I also recommend bringing water and a water bowl, which I have a bottle of, well, what was water here. It's empty now, but usually I keep water in here and take it with us. And I have her collapsible water bowl, so that even if I don't have the actual water bottle that this goes to, I still have the bowl itself so that it's very easy for her to drink. And I also tend to keep a frozen bottle of water. I'll keep it in the freezer so it stays frozen, and then when we're about to go out or before we go out, I'll leave it out so that it has time to melt, so that it's still cold but it's melted so that she can actually drink it. Also bring a leash or traffic lead. Traffic lead is probably better for going on public access outings, mainly because you can keep the dog in a tighter heel and keep them closer to you. You have more control over them with a traffic lead over just a plain leash. And I use my traffic lead length slip lead that I made myself. It's just made out of pink webbing. Also a harness or vest, and I just have a little training vest right here, reflective straps, reflective outline. It's got in training on this side, and service dog, do not separate dog from handler on the other side. The next thing I suggest is if you clicker train, bring your clicker. That way you can mark and reward as needed. If you use training tools, bring training tools. I personally use just any collar and slip lead. So here's that. And you could bring e-collar, slip lead, prong collar, martingale collar, things like that, to take with you on your access outings. If you want, you could print off ADA cards or order ADA cards, or even just save the section of the ADA website that is about service dogs. Save that onto your phone, bookmark it, put it on your home screen or anything like that. It makes it so much easier just in case you do have an access issue. It makes it easier. You can show them immediately what the service dog laws are. It also helps to have your personal state laws on service dogs and service dogs in training. So I suggest keeping the website or cards on hand. And also, of course, bring tons and tons of patience, especially if you have a puppy and it's in training. You've got to be patient so that your dog can learn effectively and so that you're not constantly getting frustrated. Because as a service dog handler and trainer, you will probably get frustrated with your dog not learning things as easily as they could, but every dog learns at a different pace, so you have got to be patient with them. In general, this video is mainly for people who have service dogs in training. Anyone can watch this, obviously, so that when you're having your public access outings, you know what all to bring and the tips beforehand. So now I'm going to talk about the tips that I personally have to give you. So first, of course, like I said, bring treats. I especially recommend bringing high value treats. So if your dog loves hot dogs, I would recommend bringing hot dogs with you. Not a lot because they should be fed in moderation, but if your dog likes hot dogs, then yeah, that was just an example. You could also bring actual training treats that are marketed as training treats, or even just their kibble. Like I said, use a kibble and hot dog mix because she's very food motivated and she really likes hot dogs. So if we're going somewhere unfamiliar, I will bring hot dogs so that she's more willing to work and focus on me. The kibble is for doing refreshers basically and brushing up on what she already knows. That's solid. But hot dogs, I would recommend, if they like them, using those for working on things that you actually have to work on. So use high value treats for things that you would like to work more on, and maybe kibble for things that your dog already knows and has solid. I would also say that you want to make sure that your dog's energy is out before you go into public, just to make sure they don't get a random bout of energy and get the zoomies and then they start acting up because they're extremely hyper. So I would recommend playing for at least 15 minutes before you leave your house or wherever it is that you were, and make sure their energy is out, just in general. It also helps to not feed them right before you go. That way they're more willing to work for the food. So I would say don't feed them for at least 3 to 5 hours before you go. It makes it, a lot easier. They'll want to work more for food, especially if you have the high value treats. They will want to work way more for it because, well, they're going to be a little bit hungry. So I definitely would say do that. Also, make sure they go to the bathroom before you guys leave. Or let them potty outside of the store or wherever it is they're going into. Let them use it outside in the grass somewhere, and if they do, go number 2, make sure to pick up after them. That is why I recommend bringing poop bags. And if they end up having an accident in the store, that is also why I recommended bringing wipes. So that way you can clean up after them effectively, and you're considering everybody else who, may or may not walk there, or, the people who may see it. That is going to lead me to another thing. It really helps to go to pet-friendly places for your first few outings, just to make sure that if something does happen, it's pet-friendly and you're not going to get in as much trouble as, if you were in somewhere that's not pet-friendly. So I would say maybe go to a pet store the very first time that you're having a public access outing for training. Pet stores kind of help to train around distractions, especially if there are other dogs in there. Your dog needs to learn how to not get distracted by the other dogs. It also helps to walk up and down the aisles that have food on them, so that if your dog sniffs a lot, they learn not to sniff the food. That way, it's a really big learning experience, especially for the very first time. For the, I'd say, second to maybe 5th-ish time, Go somewhere that is pet friendly, like a Hobby Lobby or a Joann's or Marshall's, TJ Maxx. Some of those are pet friendly. Anywhere that's pet friendly, I would recommend going there to train. That way you won't have as many issues, but I would still recommend calling ahead and saying, hey, I have a service dog in training. Is it okay that I train here for a little bit? You know, something like that. Keep your outings short at first. So if you're gonna go somewhere that is pet friendly but is not a pet store, I would say stay for maybe 20 minutes. If you're going somewhere that's not pet friendly, I would say don't stay for too long unless they're further along in their training, which is why I recommend going to pet friendly places first. So I'd say go pet store, pet friendly stores, then non-pet friendly stores. If you're just going for training and you're not actually going to buy anything, that's when I would definitely make the call to ask to make sure that it's okay that you're there to train. That way you've gotten it ahead of time and you won't have any access issues before you get there unless they say no. I also recommend going to these places when it's not too busy. That way there's not a lot of people to distract your dog or you, and it makes it easier on the both of you at first. Of course, you're going to have distractions eventually so that they know how to react and work around distractions, but it does help to just have them familiarize certain places and different environments so that they feel a little bit more comfortable. Another thing you could do is bring a small toy, like their favorite toy or just something they really like, a tennis ball or anything like that. Bring it with you and show them that having outings in public is fun. That way they don't associate it with bad things or, anything negative. They will associate it with fun, so they'll be more eager to work in the future. They'll be, more motivated and happy to go out in public because that means fun, happy time. But don't play too much so that they associate it with playing more than working. You don't want to get the two confused, so have an even balance. Another thing that I highly recommend doing is recording your progress while you're out. It helps you as a team grow together and find things you both need to work on. So if your dog needs to work on healing, you can see that while you're recording the video of you training. If you as a handler need to work on being more understanding with your dog, you can see that also in your training videos. It really helps to record so you can also keep track of progress, see what you guys need to work on as a team, and just overall, have it on record. I would say it also really helps to have the vest with patches that say in training or service dog in training or working dog, working canine, things of that nature. It just helps make everything a lot easier so that if you're going in somewhere that is not pet friendly, they won't really ask you if it's a service dog because it'll already be on the patches or on the vest or harness directly. It makes it easier for you to get in and get back out. If you do have access issues, I would definitely say to try to even if you're not actually going to, report it to corporate. That or threaten to call the cops, or actually do call the cops, because if they're not letting you in and your dog is a legitimate service dog, they are breaking the law and you should inform them of that. That is also why I said that I recommend bringing ADA cards or saving the ADA law on your phone. It makes it a lot easier for them to understand while also, giving you leeway to go in. So I think that that's all that I really have to recommend for now. If I think of anything else, then You know, maybe I'll put it in the description. If you have anything you would like to add personally, add it to the comments. I would love to read some comments from people. If you have video ideas, leave them in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, feel free to like it, subscribe, share it, you know, things like that. If you would like to know where I got some of my things from, I will put that also in the description. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.